Welcome to my next video. Don't forget to like and subscribe to follow more amazing content. In a bustling, crowded city where fashionable clothes shine through the windows of large stores, there is one special store named Elegance and Chic. This renowned fashion store is known for its wide variety of designs and excellent customer service. The store's owner, Marcus Johnson, is a successful Black entrepreneur with a strong personality, unwavering determination, and a kind heart. Marcus built the store from scratch, turning it into a symbol of elegance and style. Although the store was always busy with customers coming in and out, Marcus felt that something wasn't quite right. Occasionally, he'd hear complaints from customers about staff attitude. But whenever he appeared in the store, everything seemed flawless. The staff would act cheerful and welcoming, with no signs of unprofessional behavior. Marcus understood that when he was present, people would try their best to impress him. But what he really wanted to know was how they treated customers when he wasn't around. And so, Marcus came up with a bold idea. He decided to disguise himself as someone else, an ordinary customer, to observe the true attitudes of his employees. He wanted to see if his staff genuinely cared for the customers or were only putting on a show for him. Marcus enlisted a close friend, a makeup artist, to help transform his appearance. After a few hours of work, from a sophisticated man in a crisp suit, Marcus became a middle-aged man with graying hair, a face full of wrinkles, and ordinary clothing. He looked in the mirror and could barely recognize himself. Marcus smiled, feeling excited about his plan. The next morning, Marcus entered Elegance and Chic with an entirely new look. He wore an old coat, faded jeans, and worn shoes. He entered the store like a regular customer, holding a cloth bag. Everything seemed normal until he approached the service counter, where things began to change. A young employee named Lisa was standing at the counter, her eyes glued to her phone. Marcus walked up and gently asked, "Excuse me, could you help me?" Lisa looked up, her eyes filled with irritation. "What do you need?" she asked, her tone lacking any warmth. Marcus was slightly taken aback by her attitude, but he tried to remain calm and said, "I'm looking for a winter coat. Could you recommend a suitable one?" Lisa sighed and reluctantly put her phone down. She led Marcus to a section and pointed to a rack of coats. "Here, pick one yourself," she said, turning away without offering any advice. Marcus felt a gentle pang of disappointment. He decided to try with another employee. After wandering around the store, Marcus encountered another employee named Tom, who was busy rearranging clothes. Marcus approached and asked, "Excuse me, could you help me find a coat?" Tom glanced up, his eyes sweeping over Marcus's appearance, and then shook his head. "You can pick one yourself. I'm busy," Tom said in a detached tone. Marcus felt a heaviness in his heart. He hadn't expected his employees to treat customers like this. He left the store feeling sad and disappointed. But Marcus was not one to give up easily. He decided to return the next day, continuing his disguise to further test his staff. The following day, Marcus returned, this time disguised as a homeless man. He wore a tattered coat, an old hat, and had a scruffy beard. Upon entering the store, Marcus noticed the unfriendly glances from several employees. They looked at him with suspicion and some disdain. A security guard approached and asked, "What do you need here?" Marcus replied, "I just want to browse some clothes." But the guard blocked him and said, "We don't have anything to sell you. You should leave." Marcus felt a deep sadness. He hadn't expected that the store he had poured his heart into building could become a place lacking compassion and rife with discrimination. After leaving the store, Marcus decided it was time to act. He returned home, removed his disguise, and reflected on what he would do next. Marcus knew that if he wanted to change his employees' attitudes, he needed to show them the importance of respecting everyone, regardless of appearance or social status. With a heavy heart but firm resolve, Marcus knew he couldn't let things continue this way. He couldn't ignore what had happened and was determined to make a change. The next day, He decided to hold an emergency meeting with all the employees of Elegance and Chic. The meeting was tense. The staff didn't understand why they were urgently summoned. Some exchanged glances, trying to figure out if something serious had happened. Marcus stood before his entire staff, his gaze filled with profound disappointment. "I want to tell you all a story," he began, his voice warm but firm. "A few days ago, a middle-aged man and a homeless person entered our store. They came looking for a coat, but they received no assistance or even a courteous response from any of the staff. Everyone began to murmur, realizing that the story sounded familiar. Some employees looked down, clearly worried. Marcus continued, "That middle-aged man, that homeless person, was me. I disguised myself to see if you truly treated customers well when I wasn't here. And what I found was disappointment." He paused to look into the eyes of each staff member, their faces pale and stunned. The room fell so silent that you could hear everyone's soft breathing. Marcus knew that simply reprimanding them wouldn't create change. He wanted to turn this experience into a valuable lesson. "I'm not sharing this story to punish any of you," he said, his tone softening. "But I want you to understand that everyone who walks into this store deserves respect. It doesn't matter who they are, how they dress, or how much money they have. We're not just selling clothes. We're offering confidence and joy to our customers." Marcus looked deeply into each employee's eyes, hoping to convey this vital message. Respect isn't just a surface-level attitude. It must come from the heart, from genuinely caring for the people you serve. He paused and continued, "I've decided that we will change. We will start by learning to respect everyone, no matter who they are." Marcus announced a new customer service training program focused on respecting all people. He also introduced changes in the reward and disciplinary system to encourage positive behavior and recognize staff with good attitudes. "We won't just talk about change. We'll act on it. I want each of you to reflect on why you chose to work here. And together, we'll rebuild this store into a place where everyone feels welcomed and respected." In the weeks that followed, Elegance and Chic began to transform. Marcus not only spent more time at the store but also actively participated in training, sharing his personal experiences and the values he cherished. He spoke of the early challenges he faced in business, of his first customers, and the joy of seeing their smiles. The staff began to understand the importance of respecting customers, and gradually, the atmosphere in the store changed positively. Lisa, the employee who had shown irritation when Marcus was disguised, changed significantly. She began putting more effort into her work, taking the time to listen to customers, no longer rushing or indifferent as before. One afternoon, Marcus happened to observe Lisa helping an elderly woman choose clothes. Lisa not only introduced products but patiently assisted the lady in trying on each coat, warmly engaging with her to ensure she felt comfortable. The sight moved Marcus deeply. He knew that real change was taking place. One day, a genuinely homeless man entered the store. He looked around hesitantly, clutching his tattered bag, his eyes filled with insecurity and worry. Marcus watched from afar, his heart holding its breath. Would his staff truly change? Would they accept and treat this man kindly? Lisa approached the man with a friendly smile and asked, "Hello, sir. Is there anything I can help you with?" The man looked startled, his eyes wary as he glanced at Lisa. I just wanted to look at some coats," he said, his voice trembling. Lisa nodded and guided him to the winter coat section. "We have many styles that might suit you, and if you need advice, I'd be happy to help," she said, her voice gentle and sincere. Watching from afar, Marcus felt a warm smile spread across his face. This was what he had always hoped for. Lisa wasn't just following instructions. She had genuinely learned to respect and empathize with customers. And it wasn't just Lisa. The other employees in the store had also changed for the better. They began to care more about customer needs, no longer judging others based on appearances. Ultimately, Elegance and Chic had become more than just a place selling clothes. It had become a place that brought joy, respect, and redefined the value of customer service. Marcus knew that this journey was never easy, but he could be proud of creating a team that understood and respected human values, which was the true success of the store. One evening, as the store was about to close, Marcus stood in front of the glass doors. Looking inside, the employees were tidying up, chatting, and laughing together. Gone were the indifferent looks and tension of the past. They had become a family, a united and compassionate team. Marcus felt his heart lighten, knowing he had finally achieved what he always wanted: to build not only a financially successful store but one that thrived on spirit and human values.